Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next podcast, Empowering EPM CPM Excellence, the Onebema Connection. Hello, Ruben. How are you doing?
Hi, Tim. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So, yes, let's just go straight into the questions. The questions is, origin and vision. What inspired the creation of Onebema, and how do you envision it filling a gap in the EPM CPM community?
Okay, perfect. And that's a very good question. So I think the origin, well, at least the name is actually pronounced Onebema. And Bema in ancient Greece was the place where people will actually gather to share knowledge and discuss and actually like kind of a center point, right? So it's the inspiration for the name is kind of a place where people can, yeah, indeed like share experiences, share knowledge. And that's what we wanted to do, but really like specified and directed into the EPM and CPM market, right? We wanted to actually have a place where everybody could find information that they want, where everybody could actually share experiences, share knowledge. Where they could actually find opportunities to work as well, right? Because you know it better than me. We are a group of a lot of professionals all scattered around the world. We have several platforms out there, of course, but probably like those are platforms that are specific to one tool or one application. I just wanted an open market where everybody could participate, right? So everybody should feel free to kind of from any level. It could be a junior consultant or junior analyst, or maybe the director of a financial systems department who actually go there and kind of share different experiences and knowledge and many more, right? So that was the inspiration behind that, to kind of gather all that things or all those channels that we have in the world into one place where everybody could feel like they can actually obtain all the information that they need. Yeah.
Yes. So as you're launching, how do you plan to attract and engage EPM and CPM professionals to the platform?
I think obviously like I'm a EPM, CPM professional, and for me, I've been looking for something like this for a long time, right? So obviously, I hope that the EPM and CPM community will react well to this new platform, right? And then we'll have the at least the open-mindedness to actually go in there and explore, right? Because there's a lot of content, a lot of things that you can do. And so the strategy will be very based on actually a real need, and it's going to focus on that, right? Like people who are actually struggling to find an opportunity, or actually struggling to find certain documentation, or they want to actually feel a little bit more integrated in the community by contacting other people. They will find that reassurance in this web, right? So hopefully the organic marketing will actually be like the main strategy here. But of course, there will be additional reinsurance of that when the application goes, or when the platform goes live, and there will be multiple campaigns that will make it very easy, and it's going to make it very beneficial for the potential users as well. So you'll just stay tuned for the next releases, right?
Thank you. So can you explain the envisioned process for connecting companies with EPM, CPM freelancers through the platform?
Sure. Maybe I can take this opportunity to do a quick share, if you think is fine. And
sure. Thank you.
This is obviously the marketplace or the solution hasn't been released yet, but can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yes.
So this is I call it a marketplace, but it's a web marketplace because obviously it provides services. So it's kind of a platform, right, where companies and individuals will come into place, right? So there is a few benefits from an individual and company point of view. When it comes to individual, right? So you can find your projects, you can track your earnings, you can resolve and answer questions, right? You can access events, you can share knowledge, and you can access to the whole EPM CPM community, right? So obviously from the company point of view, they're going to be able to post projects, to have freelancer reviews, right? So they can actually see the type of freelancer that they are contacting, they are actually approaching. We're going to have advisory service, but we're going to look into that a little bit later. What you wanted to see was probably more about the first point, which is basically this one in here. Like obviously the companies will have the ability to post projects, and then the individuals will have that capacity to actually bid for those projects, right? So obviously we have seen something similar in other webs, but they're mainly focused on different jobs or different positions, right? Maybe website designer or marketing analyst or so on, right? This website or marketplace or platform is actually only specific for EPM and CPM opportunities, right? So the company and individual are going to be able to actually have that type of relationship and be able to actually connect and agree on the continuation of a certain opportunity, right? So from the user point of view, we're going to have these opportunities in here. And just going to where we should be able to see different opportunities that are different projects that are being searched at the moment. So we have this is as an example, right? We have a Tagetic project, an Apple model builder, and Oracle FCCS, OneStream, right? We have some indications of the project budget, which this could be higher or hidden by the company if required. But then the good thing is that we can actually search by technology, so we can see, okay, well, I'm looking for an opportunity in OneStream, right? So, I actually found a OneStream support opportunity, right? We can also search by location, we can search by budget, even by sector, if we're interested in a particular sector, right? When we click on the opportunity, we're able to see more details of the opportunity, right? That will include in here, including attachments as well that we will be able to see. And obviously, from a bidding point of view, we should be able to actually include where our estimated budget is, what's our estimated delivery time. We are able to upload files or videos, maybe the video that explains more about our capacities, right? Or files which include like other projects that we worked on before, or even just the resume, right? Things like that we will be able to attach, and obviously add some additional details for our proposal, right? From the company point of view, the company will be able to post the job, of course, before, where they can actually add all the requirements that they want. So they can say, okay, well, I want, they can select the application that they want to find an expert for, right? So on a plan, Workday, Pigment, and so on. They can attach files. They can include project budget or location. And then when it comes to the bidding process, like the company and the freelancer will have an opportunity to kind of discuss about the project feasibility, the candidate skills. They will be able to actually go on separate meetings to kind of discuss and really negotiate and kind of complete that hiring process. That sometimes is quite painful, right? So that's going to be the end-to-end process, right? And obviously, if there is a match, let's say, between the freelancer or the contractor and the company, the project will be assigned to the contractor, and it will be displayed in my projects window, right? So from an individual point of view, I have my projects in here that I'm working on. So I'm working on a OneStream account reconciliation project, and there is a workspace for each individual project, right? So if I click on the workspace, I have a section here where I can actually discuss any of the topics with the employer, and I can actually upload files and everything, right? So this is kind of my workspace, my area to discuss the project deliverables, the project progress with the employer. Obviously, there is additional communication tools that will happen through email and externally, but this is like a workspace that it can be used for that type of communication, right? So that's how without giving additional detail, that's how the individual and the company are going to be able to match and embark in a new project together.
Fantastic. So what types of learning and development opportunities will Onebema initially offer to individuals and companies?
Okay, so just before I continue, obviously there will be a possibility to review the individual skills after the project is completed. So obviously, if we do a great job, we're going to get a better ranking, right? So we're going to get a better reputation within the market, right? So that's and the same with the employer, right? We want to make sure that everybody has a proper review and is fairly reviewed by the market, right? So that's why it's an open space, right? So in terms of the learning opportunities, we have the learning section here. So we're going to be able to access different forums, documentation, group chat, and we can even consult an expert, right? So when it comes to forum, So here we can actually, yeah, there is different, excuse me, there's going to be different topics, right, to discuss, right? So this is what we commonly know as like when we go and check with questions on Google, right? Like we don't know how to do certain things within an application. So here is the place where you can actually ask those questions, right? So for instance, this one, how to move data from FCCS to Oracle planning, right? So you click on it. You have the details and you have people responding to that, so you can actually see the communication end to end, right? So you can get information, you can create your own post, right? So you can say, okay, I need information about, I don't know, Power BI, and this is the content of the post, right? And you have the whole community, not only Oracle, not only OneStream, but the whole community of EPM and CPM experts being able to respond to that, right? And obviously you can search by technology. If you're interested in a particular topic on OneStream, you can obviously filter by the required technology. Same with the documentation. Documentation is an open place where people can actually upload things that are public otherwise, right? There is nothing really private in here. There's things that are public or things that the user willingly wants to disclose or to share with the community. And again, this can be filtered by technology as well. So basically, maybe there is an administration guide for Tagetic or a case study for Pigment, right? Those are things that are actually either public, but you actually need to Google or search independently, which is time consuming, or things that the user actually decide to independently upload into the website. Obviously, this website is meant for people who want to contribute, who want to collaborate, because by contributing and collaborating, then you can also benefit from other people contributing and collaborating, right? So at the end it's kind of a win-win situation, right? So here you can upload all type of information that you want, right? In terms of so that's in terms of the learning. We will have an opportunity to also have group chats, right? So here is just a place where I can actually discuss questions about OneStream with people who are interested in discussing questions about OneStream, right? So if I come in here, I can actually, well, I don't know, I can say, how do I consolidate, right? So I can actually ask a question to everybody, and I can attach files, so this is just different things that you can do. And there's going to be people who are interested in having like quick responses on certain things related to a specific technology, right? And then, yeah, we're going to have also the option to consult an expert. There is some experts that are independent experts collaborating with this web, who will be able to respond questions that are not easily like obtained through either documentation or the forum or through the group chat, right? So this is mostly related to questions that are really complex. And there will be a group of experts working for Onebema who will be able to respond to help, really, because I want to actually use that term, right? Help the community to kind of evolving, right, in the knowledge, and basically not getting stuck in certain activities, which we all know that feeling, right? Sometimes we get stuck in certain things when we do an implementation. We want to actually be able to pass that obstacle, and to be able to actually learn through the process, right? So here we'll be able to actually ask those questions, and again, everything is filtered by technology. We can upload files and so on, right? So that's another option, right, for the learning. And then the last one in terms of learning is the agenda, right? The same with the agenda, we'll be able to access different stuff that people will be posting. So this is a training, this is ESG model, and this is actually a podcast. So there is a different selections in here, case study webinar. There is stuff that, well, yeah, different stuff that we can, and obviously we can filter by event type, webinar, conference, meetup, and basically we can join certain events, and we will be able to actually access those events through the website, right? The good thing is that everything that even if we start a project or we access an event or we decide to join an event, everything will be synchronized in your calendar, right? So you can have a calendar here where you can see all the events that you're attending and also the projects that you're working on, right? So you have like these things to kind of help you to, because sometimes we have like 4 podcasts to attend to or webinars, and we have 2 projects that we're working on. So here, you, for a freelancer point of view, I think is an additional tool to kind of getting you organized, right? So yeah,
Sure.
that's
Cool. Thank you. So how will Onebema facilitate project tracking and invoicing for its early users, both freelancers and companies?
So for project tracking, of course, there is a open workspace for employee and employer, right? So that's obviously there is a deadline that is specified at the beginning, but at the end of the day, if the project needs to be continued, that's something that the employer and the employee need to agree, right? That's why we have the workspace, because everything that is included in the workspace is also is kind of information that the employer and employee can use to kind of facilitate the next phases of the project, right? So that workspace is completely open for the employer and the employer, and that's kind of giving that additional reassurance, right? In terms of the invoicing, obviously we're going to be able to create timesheets, right? So basically, if I am James Smith, I'm working on, this is my company name, and these are the clients that I'm working on at the moment. So I'm working for this company, EPM Consultants. So I'm able to actually enter the timesheet, enter like a summary of the activities that I've done during the week or the month. It really doesn't need to be weekly or monthly. And then again, I can submit the invoice, and then once I submit, the company on the other end here is gonna receive the invoice. There is, things that, basically, James Smith sent invoice, right? So basically, they're gonna be able to see a notification that the invoice has been sent, and then again, the invoice, there is different options to pay within the web, but also at the end of the day, it's not about the payment or anything. It's about facilitating different processes. So the payment obviously can still happen outside of the web, right? So, but the main thing is that the invoices and the timesheets are collected in the web, so I can always access my invoices in here and filter by. I can say, okay, this is, if I have maybe 10 clients that I work on, I have my invoices in here that are actually created for specific clients, so I can always track this information, right? So yeah, that's an additional tool that you can find in Onebema.
Fantastic. So what unique features will Onebema forum have for addressing project-related queries in its early days?
I mean, I think in the early days, it's again a combination. It doesn't have a magic solution for everything, right? But if I was a contractor doing a particular project, I will use the group chat from time to time, right? To kind of to get a more quick response about certain topics. I will use the forum to kind of filter, and maybe filter by even using the search engine, right? To kind of search for questions that I might maybe, if I look for a keyword consolidation, right? And filter by one stream, then I can get some information on that. Otherwise, I will create a post and maybe kind of disclose that type of question that I have, right? If I have how do I do a currency translation calculation, right? So things like that, I will create a post. I will wait for the community to kind of come back to me. In the meantime, I can use the group chat. And obviously, if there is a very complex question, I could also rely on the consult an expert, which is not as quick, obviously, as the group chat or the forum, and requires some additional review that it will be explained later on. But obviously, it's an additional tool, because again, the main goal here is to make sure that everybody can learn through the process and can become a better consultant, right? So different tools, but again, there is no magic secret sauce, right? At the end of the day, there is going to be some interaction, and there is going to be a collaboration, right, between everybody to make this actually work and be beneficial for our community.
Cool. So how does Onebema plan to inform its early community members about relevant EPM, CPM events?
So for the events that we're going to be using the agenda, there will be it's an option for the user to kind of get notifications on events. But again, if I create a new event, maybe I don't know, Power BI, and I create a conference, right? Event title, I can even include the URL and the description and upload. I can actually if I am connected to you, then you will get a notification about a new event, right? So those are things that I can actually make sure that I'm part of. And again, by selecting the join button, it's gonna pop out directly in our calendar, right? So again, there has to be an interest to be part of these events. But once that interest is there, there's gonna be a way to actually track, either by receiving notifications or by accessing the calendar, right? To make sure that you don't miss those events. Again, it's just a platform to have all those events concentrated on, concatenated in one place, right? Right now, it's kind of hard if I want to maybe access a pigment event. I don't know where to go, right? So here I can actually have a drop down where I can just select the application that I'm interested in and just look at an event that I might be keen to attend, right? So.
Cool. So could you share how Onebema intends to provide advisory services to guide companies in EPM strategy from the start?
Yeah, so in terms of advisory service, that's also going to be a feature. And again, this is from the company point of view, right? The company has additional things that they can do, right? So they have the post a job that we saw before, right? That's just to post a project. But they have these two options as well: the request candidate search, that we can talk about it later if you want, or the advisory services, right? The advisory services is going to be worked out through collaboration with independent experts. But basically, this is a service that is going to help a company to decide the way to go, right? Because sometimes it's not just about picking one tool or another. It's to understand, do I even need a tool, right?
Sure.
What's my financial transformation strategy? How can I accomplish this, right? Because at the end of the day, this is an agnostic web. We are not trying to sell any platform. We just want to give a proper direction, right? Or at least an honest opinion based on 10, 15, 20 years of experience, right? At the end of the day, again, you cannot guarantee the success of a project, but you can give independent, agnostic, and specialized opinion, right? And then the company obviously can use that opinion in the way they need to, right? This advisory service is just basically a service that the companies can access to, and they can basically they can select that particular technology they are interested in or not, and they can actually create a request. Even they can upload files and they can say, well, I'm interested in transforming my finance department. We're using Excel for consolidation. We only have 20 users. We only generate, 100 million revenue. So we only have 10 entities. We want to see what tool will you recommend, or, and then obviously there will be responses back and forth through the Onebema community, expert community. And again, an independent and external calls can be arranged to kind of continue the discussions, right? But at the end of the day, it's just a way for companies to kind of not feel shy about asking these questions, and don't feel that they have to embark on with a certain company to kind of get that information, or they need to embark in additional costs, right? This is going to be an independent and specialized opinion that they can use without really incurring in much more additional cost, and without incurring in kind of a pre-agreement with any third-party vendor or something, right? It's just this simplifies the process a lot of getting that independent opinion, which sometimes is the only thing that companies need, right?
Sure. So as Onebema gets underway, how do you plan to gather and incorporate user feedback to enhance the platform's offerings and user experiences?
Yeah, so obviously we're going to have a contact option to kind of provide all the necessary feedback that is going to be reviewed daily, really to really make sure that the feedback is introduced. There is going to be a review points for every single thing that we do. So if things are not being done correctly in any of these categories or sections, that can be highlighted by the user community. So again, obviously the feedback is more than welcome. We're going to be monitoring it more than usual, because we want to make sure that this fits the EPM and CPM community, right? And if it has to fit mostly everybody, at least the average of everybody, right? So feedback is going to be received by the main email address, but also through independent feedback on the individual functionality sections, right? So again, once the web is up and running, we really encourage everybody to produce as much feedback as possible, because that's what we really want to do, to make a tool that is usable and everybody feels comfortable, right? Everybody within our community, right? Because this is really specific to our community.
Completely. Okay, thanks. So what are the initial plans for Onebema's enhancements or expansions post-launch?
So at the moment, the tool is going to be targeting certain needs that are being identified in the market, right? One of the needs was, okay, how can we make sure that potential employers and contractors or freelancers can communicate without actually going through a specific job application or going through maybe external recruitment agencies, right? How they can just communicate, right? Because obviously, even without the application for a post or for a job or a particular project, companies and freelancers can actually connect and communicate, right? Because the companies can actually find freelancers independently without having to post a job, right? So how can we make sure that this can happen? That's one of the things that we see that it was missing in the market at the moment, right? Obviously, how can I independently find information that without having to go to multiple places, right? That's something that we also found as something that it was lacking in the market, right? Obviously, how can I reduce the hiring process, right? Right now, the hiring process, even for a contractor, can be quite long, right? Because it might involve additional parties as well sometimes. So this actually reduces that and makes things a little bit more efficient, right? How can the employer and the employee track the progress of the project and using an independent platform, right? That's something that we also see that it was missing in the market. How can actually create a rating system where people can actually be rated for their skills, right? So if I am a company, I can actually look at, maybe if I am a contractor, I do a great job, I get a great review, and that actually, makes me, I deserve that review, but also makes me, stand out in the community as well, right? Like in any other platform, maybe even the taxi drivers, like the Uber, right? Like some drivers have better reviews because they actually perform a better job. So this is going to also, create a type of not competition, but it's going to make sure that everybody's reviewed properly and fairly, right?
Sure.
So that's something that we miss we actually found as something that it was missing in the market. And then again, just a web where we can find projects only EPM and CPM related, right? LinkedIn offers jobs, but it's all mixed up with permanent or contractor or freelancer. It's just not so easy sometimes to find these opportunities. So here is just going to be opportunities that are being posted directly by the companies, right? So that's something that we also found as missing in the market, right? So I'm saying all that because the next few months, it's going to be mainly focused on actually making sure that these things that we actually found as missing in the market are actually not missing anymore, and they fill that gap. Once that gap is filled out, then we can look at additional enhancements and additional things to do with the application or with the web, right? But at the moment, we're going to focus on filling those gaps and making sure that the market can provide those needs that are actually quite important, and they haven't been covered yet, I believe, by any other provider, right?
Sure. Thank you so much for today. It's been very insightful and quite exciting what you're proposing.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Take care then.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for having me. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.